there are a few myths that are going around, and right now we are just going to dispel those basic myths about budgeting. Is that okay? Okay, so one of the myths that's going around, if you have, or people around you have been telling this to you, saying budgeting is not important, let's not do it because budgeters don't have fun, they don't buy nice things. Okay, so throw that into the dustbin first. Budgeters have fun because they have a fun budget. They have a budget for having fun. Okay, so budgeting is all about telling your money where to go, not keeping it with you, right? So let's understand some basic concepts on budgeting. Budgeting means being good at math. I'm not good at math. I'm a science student. I'm an art student. Really, so budgeting really needs just third standard math. You need to just know how to add up, or you just need to know how to subtract. Okay, and beyond that, there is also Excel sheets and calculators. So you don't really have to worry about it. So budgeting does not mean you have to be necessarily good at math, but being good at math is not bad at all. You could pick it up too. Okay, so some people say budgeting takes too much time. I don't have the time. Anybody saying that? Budgeting takes too much time. I don't have the time. Just go through your calendar and see how much time on a daily basis you are wasting, either on on mobile, on your social media, on Netflix, on doing whatever. How much time does it take? Doing a lot of other things, and budgeting doesn't necessarily take a lot of time. We'll talk about how to do easy budgeting. Budgeting is boring. Okay, you know what is really boring? Being in loans is boring. Being poor is boring. Being dependent is boring. That's what is boring. Budgeting is not boring. Budgeting is powerful, and we're going to learn how to do that. I can do a budget in my head. Wow. Okay. So if you can do a budget in your head, why don't you help the government do their budgets as well? So there's no such thing as a budget in a head. And especially if there are two people in the family and doing a budget, and only one of you are doing it in your head, then it's not really getting anywhere. So a budget is something that's written down, a written document that tells your money where it has to go. Another budgeting myth is I keep track of all my expenses, so I don't need to do budgeting. That's a great place to start. Thank you very much. And congratulations, you're keeping track of all your expenses, but budgeting is not keeping track of expenses. Keeping track of expenses is like postmortem. It's like driving your car, looking at the rear view mirror. You want to drive your car, of course, you need to have the rear view mirror in visibility, but you want to drive the car looking forward, right? So a budget is where you're doing a forward budgeting, where you're planning for that particular period. Budgeting, there are always unexpected expenses to derail the budget, so why bother? Okay, something or the other keeps coming, and why should I even bother? I do a budget, then I'm not able to follow it, and then I feel bad at the end of the month. I've said all of this too. Okay, so these are various myths that are going around. If there are unexpected expenses, all the more reason to do budgets, because you don't want to get carried away by these unexpected budget expenses, right? So if you're not budgeting, you're almost like have you ever been on a whitewater raft? Have you ever been on a whitewater raft? You're sitting inside the raft, and then the water is just taking you wherever it takes you. You have no control over it. Just that you're having a lot of fun, and there are people along with you, but you end up wherever it takes you. It necessarily doesn't take you to where you want to go. Okay, so that's that feeling of not having a budget and going with the flow. Okay, so that's not a very special place. We want to go where we want to go, and that's why we are here. Right. And a lot of people say, oh, my timing is not right, and my incomes have stopped because of COVID, my salaries have been cut, and I can't do budgets now. Ask yourself, are you even hearing what you're saying? Okay, when timing is not right is when you need a budget, all the more reason for needing a budget. Okay, then time just goes. There is nothing like time is going to wait for you. So for most of us, we think, this is a very favorite example that I'd like to say. Our life is here, and our end of life is here. Death is here, right? Many things happen in life, right? So life happens, jobs happen, tension happens, children happen, all of this happen. And we're moving like this. Okay, and you know what we think? We're moving like this. We think the end date is moving along. It is not. We're just hurtling towards, and we're going to be banging this time very soon. So there's nothing like this. No, timing is not right. So starting today, if you make the timing right for you to start budgeting. I make a lot of money. I don't need a budget. It is only for those people who are struggling. For those of you who think This is not true from my experiences. The rich people also make budgets. You know who needs budget? People who live paycheck to paycheck need budget. People who want to get out of loans need budget. People who have goals to reach need budgets. Now we know people, somebody like Harish says, I want to put up animal shelters. Okay, he's got a goal, he needs a budget, right? Making plenty of money is not a reason why you won't have a budget. Does that make sense to you? Baby steps. We will be able to build our emergency fund, buy our insurances, put money aside for our children, or even build the 10 crores or repay our loans only if we get this very basic thing out of the way. Okay. So any of you have been around saying all these budgeting myths, things like, I make a lot of money, my timing is not right. I've said some of these. Yeah. I've said them. There are always unexpected expenses. Why bother doing a budget? I do a budget. I don't stick to it. These are things that I've said myself too. Okay. So forget, that's bullshit. Throw it out of the window and let's focus